What's up guys, Chris here again with another 4 Nights of the Apocalypse manga chapter review, and I have to say this arc just keeps gearing up and doing things that I never expected, and it even giving us some more like wholesome moments in a pretty dire chapter and arc, with last chapter dropping a huge bombshell that there was a little village of demons between like the border of the areas between Camelot and Leonis, living like seemingly like humans with some kind of barrier. Hints that Sin is not a fox, which is obvious, possibly hinting towards him maybe being Lancelot. A subscriber also pointed out that maybe it's Bond disguised as a fox, but thematically better as Lancelot. And the reveal that the huntsman that was helping Nazians and on trying to get into the village to save Percival and Donnie was actually a holy knight of Camelot who just wanted the barrier to go down so he could invade and basically take out all of the demons due to Arthur's whole ideology of there being a land only for humans and all of the other species have to go. This chapter comes off right at the heels of last week's, and I have to say, this series keeps getting better and better with each and every arc, giving us even more questions that still no answers to. But I know most of them are going to be answered next arc in Leonis, because I do think that after this arc we have to go to Leonis. But with all that said and done, before we get into the actual review, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really helps. At the point of me recording this video, we're around 840 subscribers. And if we keep going up this way, I see this channel reaching 900 subscribers by the end of October, and maybe even 1,000 by the end of November, if we don't get any more than the usual amount of subscribers every single month. So let's inch ever closer to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So please hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel and like the video to show how much you like me doing the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse content. Once we get a few more chapters in, maybe around chapter 50, because that'll be roughly a year since this series has been out. If that's how many chapters come out this year, I will start doing more miscellaneous 4 Nights of the Apocalypse and 7 Deadly Sins videos, maybe theories or just discussions on what I think could possibly happen. Maybe I'll Teching 101 style, maybe I'll get like a green screen or something and just do like actual me talking instead of just showing you images up on the screen. I don't know yet. But also don't forget to check out my Patreon, which I made back when I reached 500 subscribers. If you want to help support the channel, I got some pretty good perks on there, a Discord server for patrons only, access to specific polls, and even giving you the ability to actually help me pick what video I could do next. So if you want to help support the channel and maybe also get me to talk about a series that you like, go and check out my Patreon and help support the channel. I also have a Ko-fi account if you want to give little tips here and there to help boost this channel's proficiency. I can't speak. But with all that out of the way, let's get right into the chapter. Chapter 35, A Sinister Endeavor. And let's just say this is actually kind of an adorable cover page with the big red demon and Percival standing right in front of him looking all innocent. That's honestly kind of a hilarious way to start off a chapter after last week's huge bombshell. But anyway, we start off right where the last chapter ended off, through An's perspective actually, her realizing just what the villagers actually are. All the demons surrounding her, looking at her, and she's just freaking out and running away, and she's calling for Donnie and Percival. Percival calls out to her after hearing her, and when she's trying to ask if he's okay, she sees the giant demon that Percival became friends with last chapter, holding on to Donnie, Nazians, and Percival in his hands, as An just freaks out, starts crying and swinging her sword around, telling the demon to just let them go, or she'll make him pay. With Donnie and Nazians just being like, well, I can't exactly blame her for reacting this way. Just with the whole, yeah, this is a normal reaction, right? But all it takes is Percival saying that the monster Doltamanche, which is his actual name, which I honestly forgot, is okay and that he's their friend. As we then get a few more shots of the demons just chatting in the demon tongue, as Nazians and An are kind of recuperating with Donnie and just discussing what's going on. That this is just one big surprise, but the even bigger surprise of the day is just Percival having a flat-out conversation with the demons with that language, and everyone wondering how in the hell Percival can just talk to the demons at all. And even everyone just wondering why did they even come here in the first place. Destroying the idol just to make them look. Destroying the idol made their human forms disappear. We then get that the Elder states that destroying the idol helped get an enemy come into the village. Which, this is actually a pretty big deal, because I was under the interpretation that the Elder, this big-ass guy, who, in all honesty, does kind of look like the Demon King, in a certain extent, is actually human. He's the only human in this village, and he's been looking after the demons, looking like it. So that's honestly kind of hilarious and a big bombshell, because I honestly thought that maybe he was a demon himself after the big reveal that there was a demon, that this was a whole demon village. But yeah, that's honestly a pretty good that's honestly something really cool. Maybe this guy was raised by the demons here or something, or maybe he came across the demons, saw they weren't so bad, and decided to stay here and help them just live a life of peace or something like that to avoid people. Maybe help travelers every once in a while. You never know. But Nazians asks if they were the ones that were the enemy, but the Elder just states that it's not them, but someone else. A human who despises all the villagers. As we then see Ard, the huntsman, who is truly a knight of Camelot, appear right behind them on a cliff, very reminiscent of how Ironside was in the very first chapter, coming down to meet Percival's grandfather. Basically stating that this man is just a whole monster mastermind. And Nazians are confused as to why he looks like that, as the Elder confirms that the knight used On and Nazians to just break the idols so that he can enter the village and reveal their true forms. He then introduces himself with his true name, Ardbeg, as a holy knight in King Arthur's service, and he's waited a long time for this moment to break into the village, telling the demons to prepare to die, and he'll take them all out at once. As he says that they are members of the demon clan, to the shock of An, Donnie, and Nazians, as they didn't even know what the demon clan looked like. They weren't even born during the Holy War, so they have no idea what the demon clan looks like. So this is a very natural reaction to them seeing demons for the first time, but not knowing that they are demons. So that's honestly really, really good. And I like how they keep mentioning that the demons, it appears that the demons were responsible for the Holy War 16 years ago. And I like how Donnie just comedically asks Percival if he knew that, but Percival just says that this demon just told him literally just a second. As the Elder talks to the Holy Knight, trying to convince him that the demons in this village fled their clan after refusing to fight in the war. Here's a quick mini theory. Perhaps these are the demons that Elizabeth managed to convince, possibly 3,000 years ago, or maybe during the Holy War, to not fight. If you don't want to fight, leave. Find a way to protect yourselves from the clan that wants to keep fighting. And I like that there are demons that didn't want to fight in the Holy War. It makes sense. They're not all just a hive mind or share the exact same ideals, showing that each of these demons have their own type of individuality. And I like that there's a whole village of all these different demons. It makes total sense. Otherwise, what was the point of Meliodas and Zeldris being different, aside from them being the Demon King, or any of the 10 Commandments? Or, yeah, it makes complete and total sense, and I'm glad that this thing has been acknowledged. But anyway, the Ardbeg doesn't listen at all, and just states, so what if they chose not to fight in the Holy War? They're demons. That's all that really matters. And how much did everyone sacrifice in the Holy War 16 years ago? And he pulls something out of his jacket, out of his armor, saying that everyone will know what was sacrificed very soon, as he pulls out what seems like Goddess Amber, as he chants a spell, pulling all of the demons in the village into this rock. Every single demon. Now, if you remember in the Seven Deadly Sins, we've seen Goddess Amber a few times. First time was when a weakened Meliodas was sealed in it by Veronica in the Visal Festival arc. But he managed to break free because that Goddess Amber was too small and could not contain all of Meliodas' full power. And we also saw it more in the Druid training arc, where we saw that there was just this giant piece of Goddess Amber that held all of Meliodas' true power inside. Now this one is pretty small, and it managed to seal up a buttload of demons, presumably like 3 or 4 dozen demons, from what I can tell from the size of the village. We don't get a full head count. Everyone's shocked that all the demons are gone, as Ardbeg states that this piece of Goddess Amber is actually a very advanced one, because he calls it the Amber of the 4 Archangels. Once again, referring to stuff from the Seven Deadly Sins, and I like it. Adding even more lore for possibly people that are jumping onto the series here for Four Knights of the Apocalypse, building on stuff from the previous series. So I like that there were different levels of these goddess ambers, and this is probably made from the four archangels with their celestial power to seal up multiple demons. So I like how he explains that this is different from any kind of goddess amber that we've seen before, and this has most likely been created with the power of the four archangels. Anyway, Ardbeg looks down and notices Percival asking where the demons are, and Ardbeg seems to have misunderstood, stating that the demon that was about to crush you is now inside this crystal. And then he notices Percival's hair, like his green hair with the wings of a bird, and he notices the dragon's scabbard, the dragon handle, as Ironside say that he had lost it in a big battle, realizing that Percival is one of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. But as he's stating that, Percival straight up asks why he did that to the demons, stating that Doltamacha and the other demons, they were good people too. They didn't deserve to be sealed away, stating that they're his friends. Ardbeg states, "Friend? A demon is your friend? A demon is good people?" As he then springs down his sword to hit Percival, as Percival masterfully blocks it with one hand, mind you, showing just how strong he actually is. And he blocks Ardbeg's attack, as he explains that the prophecy was right. Percival will destroy the whole world, associating with the demon clan. As I like that we get to see inside his mask, seeing Ardbeg's enraged and infuriated face, contorted with just straight up hatred. So I feel like, I'm going to get into this a little later, but it's definitely highly possible that every one of these holy knights are victims of the holy war, primarily from Camelot. So I'll get into that a bit more as I'm going to talk about the Cursed by Light movie, which I'm sorry I didn't make a video on it as soon as it came out. I had a lot of stuff going on, so I'll talk about that later. Ardbeg continues to state that for the ideal that Arthur sees, he's going to make sure that Percival is dead. An tries to plead with Ardbeg to let Percival go, but he just states, "Look, just leave this area at once. He won't do anything. It's none of their business." As An and Ozians both resolutely tell him that Percival is their friend, their comrades, their companions. They're not just going to leave him be. And they literally state what happened with Ironside, that Ironside was torturing them, and Percival saved them. Ironside was going to kill them, and Percival saved them, saying that he's a hero. And we can tell that Ardbeg might actually be hesitating a little bit, because he could tell that they weren't bad people. And Percival just straight out says to give back the crystal and release everyone at once. Ardbeg tells Percival to be quiet as he raises his sword, telling his dog, which was actually some kind of chaos beast called Cernunnos. I can't pronounce it well. I honestly can't pronounce it well. Saying to dispatch the prophesized knight at once, with that ending the chapter. And I have to say, setting up a fight between some sort of chaos beast and Percival and a holy knight, not bad. Not bad. And adding even more lore to the Seven Deadly Sins world is something I'm always in for. But the thing is, I didn't mention this while I was going through this chapter, but An does mention just straight up mentions, why isn't Sin here? And Sin seems to had been knocked out by the Elder. Now, I don't know what's going on there. The Elder seems like an actually good guy, but maybe he knocked out Sin for some other reason. For that, I'm not entirely sure, but there's still a lot to go about things. I do still think that this arc is going to reveal that Sin is actually Lancelot, or maybe someone affiliated with Lancelot or the Seven Deadly Sins. Because back in the Sistana arc, we were told that the only ones capable of destroying all those Chaos Beasts, seemingly in an instant, would be someone from the Seven Deadly Sins, which would make sense playing into the evidence that Sin might be Ban. But Sin does not have the same personality as Ban, and even if Ban wanted to act it, he is not the same kind of guy that Sin is. Which means it could be Lancelot, and one piece of evidence is that Lancelot knows more than possibly someone at his age should know, and it's highly possible that Ban and the Sins told him about this so he can go on the mission to find the rest of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, or when he was taken in the Lancelot one-shot back, I don't know, I think in last summer in mid-August, right after the Seven Deadly Sins manga concluded, that he was taken for 10 years, presumably by the Lady of the Lake, and maybe he learned a whole bunch of stuff about chaos and the history of the demons and stuff like that. But that's still a big unknown. And the very last thing I want to talk about is why all these holy knights are so adamant about preserving Arthur's ideals and possibly even contorting them even more to suit themselves. Perhaps, and I just said this, every member of the current generation of holy knights were most likely survivors of the previous holy war from people that were killed off by the demons in Camelot. Remember, Camelot was just wiped off the face of the map in the battle against the Demon King. So it's highly possible that all these knights harbor a ton of hatred for the demons in particular, but also every other race, because it was that very holy war that basically doomed themselves and their loved ones to pain, suffering, and loss. So it makes complete and total sense why they would latch onto Arthur's ideology and have themselves fueled with rage and anger. Now, Arthur does not seem like someone, from what we've seen of him, we've only seen him for like 2 chapters, is filled with rage and anger. In the Cursed by Light movie, we see that he is very saddened by losing all the people. And we saw there was a lot of people that straight up died during the clash with the Demon King. He made dozens of graves. And with the end of that movie, we get the interpretation that maybe this whole thing with the Supreme Deity and the Demon King being gone, the Age of Gods being gone, and this being the Age of Chaos and humans, perhaps Arthur just sees this as a way to possibly just make this world for humans. Maybe he'll use the power of chaos, and with the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, maybe seal all the other clans away in their own world, where they can live out the rest of their lives. Maybe he himself doesn't want to just eradicate every other clan in the world. He doesn't want to erase the fairy folk, the giant clan, the demon clan, even the goddess clan. But it's highly possible that the rest of the Camelot Knights see this differently and just want to eradicate them all due to all the pain, suffering, and loss they suffered during the Holy War. But that's all I can really tell. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. What do you think of this chapter? What do you think of everything going on with this arc? How do you think it's going to end? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really helps. I am really enjoying the Four Knights of the Apocalypse manga even more every single week, and I hope they keep doing this every time a new chapter comes out. And also, do whatever you can to help share these videos on the channel so I can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year. November is my goal to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you can, help me out. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.